This video will show you how to replace the power steering pressure line from the power steering pump to the brake booster on a GMC Sierra 2500. This will be located along the driver's side of your engine compartment. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. Now the first thing we have to do is make our way down along the driver's side of the engine, and this is where we can see our power steering pump reservoir. Remove any debris from around the cap, remove the cap. We're going to remove as much fluid from inside the system as possible. To remove the fluid, I'm going to be using a fluid extractor. Once you've removed the fluid, let's just go ahead and reinstall the cap for now. Now we can see where our power steering pressure line is, and it leads right up to our brake booster. We're going to use an 18mm to loosen our line fitting. Before doing so, go ahead and try to remove any rust from around this area so nothing makes its way inside the system. You can use some parts cleaner and a wire brush. Now that I have that cleaned, I'm going to be breaking this free with my 18mm line wrench. After you have it broken free, you should be able to switch to an open end wrench. We'll just pull that line out of place. Just go ahead and give it a quick inspection. We're going to set this aside, leaving it up high. We'll continue on down at the power steering pump next. Now along the back side of the pump here, we can see where the line goes in. We'll be using a 16mm for this fitting, and we have our collection receptacle under here. There we are. We'll let that drain into our collection receptacle. Okay. Go ahead and take it right out of there. There it is, friend. Prior to installation of any brand new part, let's make sure we clean and inspect our mounting areas. We'll start up along the top at the brake booster. I'm just using a clean rag for this. I'm attempting to remove anything, wiping it away from the port leading in. After a close inspection of this, we'll make our way down along the back side of the power steering pump. We're still using a clean rag. I don't need any type of detergent here. That looks good as well. Now it's time to install our power steering pressure line. The first thing we want to do is install our sealing O-rings along each side of the line. Once you have them installed, go ahead and lubricate them with some clean power steering fluid, and we'll get this in place. Now as we bring this down, we're going underneath our large power wire here. I'm going to start up along the top. We can definitely see that we have our sealing O-ring in place as we bring this in. I'm pressing it towards the booster and starting in the fitting by hand. You're going to find that you have a plastic protective bushing here. Go ahead and gently flex that line. We're bringing it down towards this area. That's going to help prevent anything from rubbing and potentially getting damaged here. We can tighten our fitting. Once you have it bottomed out, just go ahead and snug it up using a line wrench. Double check to make sure the line does not move at all. If it moves, it's not tight. Let's make our way down to the bottom. Now it's time to connect that power steering pressure line into the bottom of the power steering pump. I'm just bringing this down into position here. We're going to start in the fitting by hand, of course. We're using a 16mm to snug it up. Now I've got that started in, I'm going to go ahead and snug it up. Okay, right there's bottomed out. Just gonna try to take this a little further here. Let's just make sure that's nice and tight. We'll take hold of the line, make sure it does not pivot in any way. If it does, your fitting's loose. Now just one last quick inspection in this area prior to filling our power steering fluid. Everything is good here, so I'm going to go ahead and remove my power steering reservoir cap by turning it counterclockwise. We can remove that. Now as we look at our power steering cap, it has a small dipstick along the bottom, and you can see where it says full cold as you rotate it. It has a small line. We're going to fill the power steering reservoir with the manufacturer's specified fluid up to that line. Use a small funnel. Now we're not trying to fill all the way up to the top of this reservoir, so we will have to check this several times. All right. So the fluid level is a little high here. That's okay. I can make adjustments as necessary. For now, I'm just lightly closing this. At this point, let's make our way into the passenger compartment. Now that we have our power steering cap in place, go ahead and safely raise and support the front of the vehicle so both front wheels are off the ground. Once you've completed that, make your way into the passenger compartment. Now, while we're in the vehicle, we need to make sure that we've fully charged our Hydroboost accumulator. This is part of the power steering system. For this, we're going to have to start the vehicle. Once the vehicle's running, we're going to firmly apply the brake pedal approximately 10 to 15 times, and then turn off the engine. Now that we have the engine off, we're going to put the key back in the on position without the engine running. We're going to turn the steering wheel all the way in one direction till it stops. Once you're there, pause for approximately 2 seconds and turn all the way in the other direction. Once you're at that lock point, pause there as well. 2 seconds, then turn to the other direction. You're going to repeat this process approximately 12 to 15 times. This is going to help remove any air from in the system. After completing that action inside the passenger compartment, we're back under the hood here. It's time to check that power steering fluid level again. As you can tell looking at this, our fluid level did go down. That's exactly what should happen. As air is making its way out of the system, fluid's making its way in. We're going to top this off. Looking inside here, I can tell my fluid level is very low. Let's take our time topping this off. At the bottom of the dipstick there, just a little bit more. Now, since this vehicle is still cold, it has not been running for an extended period of time, we want to top it off up to the cold full line, not the hot line. There it is. Level's perfect. We'll go ahead and clean any mess in this area. Of course, reinstall the cover. Okay, friend, we finished the installation of our power steering pressure line. Now at this point, we want to make sure we clean any mounting areas. We're going to run the vehicle, double check for leaks. Go ahead and close the hood and take your vehicle for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.